Hello, Dr. Strangelove. Oh, making sure I'm recording. I am. Good. This is my learning summary video, although I suppose you'll know that from the title. It's taken me a little bit to do this because, well, I've been thinking about the class a lot. I mean, figuring out not necessarily what I learned, but what are the important things I learned from this class because I mean, every day was amazing. I got to learn something new every day. Um, but given I have so little time for this, I figured I should pick out the more important things. So, the first thing that I really took away from this class was human ability. People's ability. I think I have a tendency, and I'll discuss this in my other video on my research project, but I seem to have a tendency to draw out the negatives in life, to look at the more hopeless aspects of life, and to look at how little ability people have to affect it. I mean, when you look at, you know, corporations, their control of media, and the inability for people to escape the control of capitalism and corporations, and then the evil that brings along. I mean, it's hard to find much hope in this world, and yet in your class, I managed to get a sense of hope, right? That despite the fact that there's not much we can do. To use a quote from you, which you took from Gandhi, but whatever, um, even if we can do nothing, we must act as though we have an impact. And that quote really struck home for me because, I mean, it takes into account that hopelessness and sort of smashes it, if you will. And so that was a really big thing for me, was learning that ability people have uh, to come back, to fight, the system as it is. Um, I mean, I on a perhaps lighter note, I learned how much I enjoy making collages. I really, really like doing those art pieces. Every time we had to do one, I got excited because it was a chance for me to get onto paper a lot of the stuff I was thinking about at the time. Um, it it really helped me, I think, in a big way. I have here actually some of my favorite pieces. We can just show you, yeah. So here's my piece with, I almost said Foucault, Jesus, no. Oh, I can't do it, but you know his name. I forget his name right now. It'll come back to me though. But you have, the drum, the march of time, the media is the medium, um, and then, or sorry, the medium is the message. You have the eyes always on him, and then the mask and the cracks in the mask where the light is let in. Um, I hope you recognize all these philosophical ideas, but and then there are this one I don't think you understood initially, but it is all of these countries are countries which have been invaded by the U.S. In the name of freedom. And so that's why it has free with the bullet holes and the money coming out of them. But anyways, the point is making these pieces of art really helped me get my frustration out onto a piece of paper, and then allowed me to observe it, right? To critique it and to understand it better. And that brings me to the other thing that really um, helped me with this class is that it allowed me to analyze the media I looked at. I mean, I I read a lot of CBC um, and BBC news, and I mean, I saw some of it, but I kind of ignored it before in terms of media bias. Um, but after starting your class, after being forced to look for it, I realized how blatant a lot of the bias is in terms of, you know, go the West, everyone else is savages. I mean, that very imperial idea, you know. And combine that with, you know, this cancer stage of capitalism you have coming around. Well, coming around, I say that it's been around for 100 years, but it really combines to make a bleak picture. And yet, through all that, there are cracks in the mask where the light can get in, where the hope gets in. And it was those cracks that this class really showed to me. Um, so I think that is ultimately that's, you know, that's the biggest impact that came from this class, at least for me, was that the hopefulness. I mean, I learned plenty along the way, but that was the major thing that really stuck with me. Um, so, all that being said, I'd like to say thank you for your class. It was a something that brightened up my day every time I went to it. And I really, really hope I get you again at some point. And if not, that I can, you know, meet with you again, talk to you again, because I, I really, really enjoyed it. So, thank you, sir.